Okay, so we're going to be recording, we're going to be learning 2.9. And what 2.9 is about is we're moving, we just factored in 2.8, right? We know how to get it into this form of factored form. And now our purpose is to use that pattern to graph quadratics. So you know how to use it when it's in vertex form, right? And it's the shifts, left 3 up to whatever the case might be. And so now we're going to use this form and we're basically going to be able to factor it as well. So it says, what features of a parabola are highlighted in factored form? And how can we use those features to graph the quadratic function? And then how does a factored form of the quadratic relate to graphing a parabola? Okay, so we're going to do that. So the very first thing I want us to start with is use technology to graph each function and then the vertex and the y-intercept and the x-intercepts. Be sure to write the intercepts as points. Okay, so here's right up here, you guys can graph this exactly as you see it here. And then I want you to take notes on all of these things and then label them. Okay, so go ahead and take a second to do that. Okay, so the very first thing it says is use technology. So here's my technology. And then it says graph these things. So I'm going to go in there and go x minus 1, close open, x plus 3. And then I have this thing here. So then it says, I'm not going to graph this here because it's right here. So it says vertex. Oh no, line of symmetry. Where's my line of symmetry? Oh, that's right here. What number would that be? What's your line of symmetry? What did you guys get as your line of symmetry? Yeah, very good. So I'm going to write x equals -1. So if you wrote -1, that's fantastic. Just write x equals -1, and that's perfect. I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to write x equals -1. And you can see that because look, if I took this parabola and I folded it on this line, that's the line of symmetry, right? Your line of symmetry should always be going through your vertex, which is the next thing that they want. And it says -1, -4. So I'm going to write -1. Is that what you guys got to? -4? I saw a bunch of your answers already. Very good. Now, x-intercepts. Do you see that S right there? So just in case we're not sure, let's just write this out, right? An x-intercept is where the function crosses the x-axis and where y equals 0. Okay, so there's actually 2 of them. There's one right here and one right here. One right here and one right here. Okay, so I need to write those down. 1, 0, and -3, 0. So 1, 0 and 3, 0. Did I do that right? No, it was -3, 0, Ms. Johnson. -3, 0. There you go. Okay. You guys all comfortable with that? So now, Ms. Johnson, there's 2 of them? Yeah, see how this crashes into this x-axis twice? One right here and one right here. Okay, does anybody notice anything? Anybody notice anything? Anybody notice anything neat? Anybody notice anything about this? Does anybody see anything? What do you see? Very good. The U faces upwards. That makes sense, right? Because it's all positive. This is a positive here times a positive. The whole thing, the whole function is positive, right? X times X is X squared. Does anybody see? So whenever I say, do you notice anything? So I want to know, do you see these numbers? X-intercept. Do you see those x-intercept anywhere in the function? Yes, someone said it. Sorry, let me grab this. So let me grab this. So yeah, someone said the x-intercepts. This is so fantastic. I'm going to put it right here. The x-intercepts are the opposite of what's in parentheses. What? Yeah. Okay. The x-intercepts 1 and negative 3 are the opposites. Oh, of what's, oh, in here. Oh, that makes so much sense. Yes. So I'm going to put that right here because that was so important. That was like the key piece, right? So I'm just going to put that right here. Put that smaller, and let me put that over here with the x-intercept land. I'm going to snip this picture in a second and put it in there for you guys, but okay, so let's continue. So x-intercepts, good. What's the y-intercept? Where do I find the y-intercept here? Yeah, 0, comma, negative 3. This guy right here, very good. So here, go here, and it's 0, comma, negative 3. Very good. Okay, so that's basically your answer. So the question that I have for you, right? The question that I have for you goes like this. Could you have done this without using this? Could you have done this without using this? And the answer is going to be yes. Okay, so let me snip this and put it in our notebook so we don't lose it. Like this, and then copy this, and then we'll just put it here. We'll put it all the way to the right so that it doesn't get in the way of anything, and we'll make it like us a bit smaller so it's not just in the way. So here it is right here, okay? Okay, so the next little part. Okay, so let me hear from you guys first. Is there any way that we could have figured this out just by using this? And the answer is yes. Because of what one of your classmates said, oh, these numbers are opposite here, that's where I would start. Okay. Okay, so according to what your classmate said, can you figure out what your intercepts are going to be here? So let's start there. So let's graph those first. Can you right now find your x-intercepts? I'm going to skip these two. Just find me your x-intercepts. Go ahead and do that. All right, so yes, so people are finding them. And so the very first one, I'm just going to graph it, and then I'm going to pull it over to the other thing so I could take really good notes for you guys. Let's see, hold on a second. Where did I go? Okay. Here we go. Okay, so the first thing someone says, hey, Ms. Johnson, I found my X and my Y intercepts. Let me just, I'm snipping a picture for you guys. Someone says, Ms. Johnson, I think they're 2, 0 and 6, 0. Do you guys all see what he did there? Let me go here. So the x-intercepts are 2, 0 and 6, 0. Are you guys all comfortable with how we're getting these intercepts? Are you comfortable with that? Everybody good on that? Okay, so let me just graph them. I want a bigger picture. So let's go here, here. Okay, let's graph those two, 2, 0 and 6, 0. And so there they are right there. So I'm going to snip this picture so I can graph on it. So it's a little bit easier for me. Okay, that's good. All right, so here, this is how to graph using our thing. And I'm not going to use all that because I can't. Okay, so here goes. So here's my graph. Get a little bit smaller. There you go. All right, so here's my graph. Okay, and can you all imagine? I need that equation down here. Let me just write it. So let's write this one. It's y is equal to 2 parentheses x minus 2, x minus 6. Some of you are saying, hey, Ms. Johnson, does that 2 right there? Does that 2 right there change anything? Does it change anything? And it's like, no, it does not change what one of your classmates said. The x-intercepts are opposites. So good. Okay. So there they are. Can you imagine, is this, what do you think? Is this going to be a U or upside down U? Happy face or sad face? Yeah, this is going to be a happy face. You guys all see it? You guys all see it? Yeah, he's happy. You guys all good? Okay, so then, so can you imagine, now you want me to find my line of symmetry? Right now, looking at my happy face, can you find my line of symmetry? Where would I fold this? Awesome work, man. And I love it. I love it when you guys do this for me. I know it sounds like I'm really lazy. Man, Miss Johnson, you're so lazy. Not really. I just like putting your work up here because it's fantastic work. Okay, so someone says, hey, Miss Johnson, I know what it is. It's x equals to 4. And I'm like, wait, what? I don't see x equals to 4. Where did you get x equals to 4? Now think about it. He's right. Okay, where would this person get x is equal to 4? Where did they get it? Yes, someone says, Miss Johnson, it's just down the middle. And what are you talking about down the middle? Isn't this down the middle? There, you're like, no, between the two intercepts. See how it's down the middle? So, okay, so because of that, I'm going to draw my my line of symmetry very light. Okay, there's my line of symmetry. Oh, you can't see it yet. Okay, very good. Okay, so I got my line of symmetry. Oh, how do I find my vertex? How do I find my vertex? Let me look at this picture really quick. How, the vertex was right there. It went through the line of symmetry. Man, how would I find my vertex? Yeah, some people have different numbers for their vertex. Okay, so do you guys all agree with me that my vertex is somewhere on this line, on my line of symmetry? Yes? The only thing I know about my vertex so far is that I know the x value. The x value has to be 4. Man, I wish there was a way to figure out my y. If I knew what 4 was, if I knew x was 4, how could I find my y? Let me say this again. Because I know my x is 4, Ms. Johnson, how did you know x is 4? Because it goes through the line of symmetry. Your vertex has to go through your line of symmetry, right? Where would my vertex be? Well, if I know my x, I'm going to point at things. If I know my x, how would I find my y? What could I do? If I know my x, how could I find my y? Yes! Yay! Someone said, Miss Johnson, can't you just plug it in and replace it with x? Exactly. Okay, so that's what you want me to do right now? Yes. Okay. Okay, so then I'm going to plug in really quick. Actually, I'm not going to plug in. No, I'm going to plug in. Because this is a fast plug-in, right? So y equals 2 parentheses 4 minus 2 and 4 minus 6. So that's 2. Oh, it's not catching up. Give me a second. So 4 minus 2 is just 2. And 4 minus 6, well, that would just be -2. So that's 2 times 2, which is 4, times -2, which would be -8. So my y is -8. Does everybody see why I got -8? Okay, Miss Johnson, your graph doesn't even include -8. Okay, just pretend that it does. And it would go, I don't know, it's somewhere down here-ish. I don't know, somewhere, I don't know. I'm just making it up. It goes somewhere here. And then now do you see more of your y-intercept there? I mean, your parabola there? Very good. And then the last thing is asking me for my y-intercept. Well, shoot, my y-intercept is when x is equal to 0. So what do you think I'm going to do with my 0? What do you think I'm going to do with this 0? What do you think I'm going to do with this 0? Yeah, exactly. I'm going to plug it in again. Good job. I'm going to plug it in again. So I'm going to plug it into here, Miss Johnson. Yes, I'm going to plug it into there. And I'm just going to use my I'm just going to plug in my brain. So 0 minus 2 is -2. So 2 times -2, that's -4. And then 0 minus 6 is -6. So -4 times -6 is +24. Ms. Johnson, you did not leave enough room on this graph. I know, right? So imagine me pinching this and drawing it really, really big. Do you guys all see my parabola there? I'm going to try my best to connect the dots here. It's not going to be the greatest, but that's okay. There you go. And that's basically it. So here's the moral of the story. You, when looking at this guy, you can instantly pick off your x-intercepts. So that's the advantage of factored form, right? And then because we know that parabolas are symmetrical, right? You guys told me go down the middle to find my line of symmetry. And then you told me to plug in to find my vertex, and then to plug in to find my intercepts as well. Okay. Oh, interesting. Okay, then again, Ms. Johnson, shouldn't we check our graph? Yes, absolutely. So I got to plug in this guy, 2 parentheses, x minus 2 and x minus. Okay, so let's zoom out a little bit. So when I zoom out, I see, boom, down here, this guy. I know, that's a big deal, right? I knew you were going to figure it out. Down here, it's a full, like down here, Ms. Johnson, your vertex is right. And I'm like, yay. And then someone goes, Ms. Johnson, look for your asymptote. This guy, oh, there it goes, 0 to 24. That's your y-intercept, Ms. Johnson, yay. And someone in the chat said, hey, Ms. Johnson, what if you forget the 2? So let me just copy this part. And do you think it'll make a difference between the 2? And the answer is yes. Notice here you have the same intercepts, right? But everybody else is a little bit different. Notice green guy is a little bit skinnier and so on. Very good work, y'all. Very, very good work. Very strong work.